And we are live. Good evening from the UK. I also believe it's good evening from Ireland, and it's late afternoon from Canada. But don't worry, if you're watching in another part of the globe where it's actually good morning, we're wishing you a good morning. My name is Amma, for those who do not know me. I'm originally from Ghana. That's where my name originates from. I was born in Ghana, but I came to the UK at a very tender age, and I've lived here all of my life. I am a mum and a carer to an amazing young man. I also work in the public sector as a civil servant, and I run my own digital business, and I'm a mentor. As normal, I have got an awesome show. We have there's fantastic mompreneurs on here. Super excited, as you can see. I am going to allow them to introduce themselves in a minute. This is also a part of the sessions that I've been doing, Knowing Me, Knowing You. But instead of people knowing me, you get the pleasure and the honor to know these beautiful mompreneurs and why they decided to go digital. So I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves and just say a little bit about themselves. And I will start with you, Vera.
Hello, everyone. Good evening from this part of the world. And thank you so much, Sister Amma, for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Vera Obomo. I am originally from Nigeria. And for those of us who have not, seen me, or if you are just seeing me for the very first time, I am a mother of 6, and we reside here in Ireland. I am married. I work. I'm a student, and I do the digital business as my full-time, full-time business at the moment. It's my pleasure, to be here tonight, and thank you so much for having me, Sister Amma.
That was a wonderful introduction. Before I ask the next lady to introduce herself, I just want to say thank you to those that are watching. We actually have Heather. She's watching right now from Jamaica. Hi, Heather. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you're going to enjoy the show. I'm now going to ask Sister Marcel, if you could introduce yourself, please. Oh, hi, handsome. We've got another celebrity.
Hi. Hi, Sister Amma. Thank you so much to invite me to your page. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Okay, my name is Marcel. I'm a mom to 4 beautiful children, and I'm a personal support worker. And I'm proud to be a digital business, and I live in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Thank you.
Here in the UK, including Ireland, it's what I call freezing. This morning there was widespread frost, but I don't know, what is it like over in Canada, Sister Marcel? What is the weather like? Have you had any snow? Oh, I think we have a technical problem. Okay, I'm hoping to get her back, but whilst we try and resolve that, Sis Rama, if you would like to introduce yourself, please.
On your page, it is my pleasure to be here this night with our lovely business partner all over the world. I'm Rahma. I'm a mom of 5 amazing children. I'm originally from Benin Republic, and I'm based here in Ireland with my family. I'm a proud online business mentor. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Sis Marcel, I was actually asking, because over here it's what I call freezing now. I was asking, what is the weather like over in Canada? Is it snowing at all? Is it cold? It must be.
No, really. The weather is okay these days. We're expecting winter. We're expecting huge snow. But so far, we are okay now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic,
We're ready.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I will just let the viewers know a bit more about myself. I mean, this is Digital Mums Talk, and we're talking about why we decided to make the digital move. Now, when I introduced myself, I mentioned that I not only am I a mum, I'm also a carer because my son has needs. And, you know, he's now entering adulthood. And one of the things that we've experienced when he was younger and as he's growing, and even now, he needs to be supported. But my time was always taken up with work. And it got to a point that as he was growing, I was not as substantially present as I wanted to be, as I felt that I needed to be as a mother. So what happened was I had to take a step back. And I had to think to myself, there must be something else out there where I can earn an income, but I'm not sacrificing my son, my family, our time, you know, our life for an employer. Because at the end of the day, when I'm no longer here, my employer is going to continue, but I cannot get back the time that I've lost, and I need to create more moments with my son. I mean, for you ladies, I don't know, what was the reason why? I mean, for you, Sister Vera, one of the things that I want to ask, what was your pains and struggles before you decided to make the digital move?
Thank you so much, Sister Amma. I've actually said this, you know, a million times, but I'm saying it now not with any regret, because every experience that I've had in life, I've actually just taken them as, you know, a stepping stone, you know, and a step, you know, towards my, you know, to realizing my dreams. You know, one thing is if I never really had the challenges, probably I would still be where I was. And then my children would suffer, my husband would suffer, my family would suffer. So I thank God that I'm here this night. You know, I'm at the place. I know I'm not where I really want to be yet, but I'm very, very contented with where I am at now at the moment, and I cannot just but, you know, give all the glory and thanks to God. One of the challenges that I had, because it was actually much anyway, because if you ask me, I would say I am actually strong-headed when it comes to, I'm a very, you know, easygoing person anyway, but when it comes to, you know, being ambitious, I'm actually very, very strong-headed when it comes to that. So when I was actually still working, you know, I knew that we needed, you know, something, you know, to supplement our income. Because what we had was just, you know, one income, and sometimes, very rarely, 1.5 income, you know, coming into the family. And the truth is, being a family of multiple children, you know, myself, my husband, we are 8 in numbers, okay?
Sorry,
and
Sister, I'm always amazed when you talk about your children. 6. I don't know how you do it. 6.
I know. It is. I must say the truth now. It is a very, very challenging, but at the same time, it's rewarding. You know, it's very rewarding. So one of the challenges that I actually had was, you know, trying to face my reality. You know what I mean? I had this. I was so afraid, you know, to leave where I was at, because I knew that I needed to make a change, but at the same time, I was just so afraid to take that move or to make that, you know, take that action. So what I did was, you know, stay there, and if you ask me, languish. So the thing is, I had all these challenges of, you know, always trying to, you know, if I take a step, you know, a step forward, I'll take 3 steps backward. You know, even when I actually found out this business, I still did not, you know, I took action immediately. The first action, I was like a firefly, you know. But then when it was time, you know, for me to really, you know, be established, I took a while, you know. But today, that's my regret, because if I had started earlier, I know where I would have been by now. And the last experience that I had with my health, maybe that would never, you know, have come, you know, to be. That would have been, you know, kind of avoided. You know, I mean, the incident I had at work, you know, that, you know, made me to take the decision to, you know, to start this business full head on. yeah, so that the main challenges I have were just that. But the truth is, like I said before, I'm actually very grateful to God that I had them all, and they are all, they're all, they taught me, where I am today, and I know that, that kind of, solidified my faith on where I am at the moment. I know I'm in the right place, and I know that I've made best decision, for myself and my family. I can feel it. I can see it all around me. I can even see it in the, in my kids. I can see it in my husband. I can see, like, everything is actually back to normal, to as it should be, So, I thank God for that.
Wow. I mean, when I think about 6 children, catering for a family of that size, yourself and your husband, I just think that you're amazing. I have one, and sometimes it can just be challenging in itself. So to have 6 children, I mean, they are a blessing, don't get me wrong. I think children are just amazing, and they are a blessing from above. But you mentioned something which I think is very key in a lot of areas, and I think a lot of us suffer from that, is the fear to take action. I was doing a live a few days ago, and I actually mentioned the fact, because when I came across this, I was at a crossroads in my life where I needed a change, but I did not take immediate action straight away. And what you were saying resonated with me, because I was afraid to come out of what we call the comfort zone, but I've named it as the familiarity zone, because you're just afraid to step out of that zone. So you sit, and you're not even comfortable sometimes in your circumstances, but because it's so familiar, we sit in it for a while. So I can resonate with that, and I'm sure that there's viewers out there that can also resonate. And I see that we do have quite a few viewers, so if you would tell us where you're watching from, because we always love to show our appreciation and give you a shout out. I'm going to ask you, Sis Ramath, why did you decide to make the digital move and have an online business?
Oh, thank you so much, Sis Amma, for the question. So for me, I decided to join online business because of my family, and also to build my retirement, because I know my family, I love them so much. I'm a stay-home mom with them, with my children. So at the same time, I'm still studying, but it's not like cuckoo. It's not straight away. But when I saw this business, I said, wow, so it sounds good. But I was skeptical, until I saw my husband as well. He too told me, hey, if they scam you, I said, okay, you understand? So I just come on my face. I say, okay, let me just focus on my study, and then from there I can start something. So, and after I just saw myself, she just sent me, Rama, send me your email. And I sent her. After she said, you don't see your email, go and watch your email. I said, which email? I didn't see it. Go there, see it. And I was there, I saw the webinar, I watched it. And she said, okay. I tell her again, I already watched. So she was saying, she asked me, you didn't say, I said, I saw, is it real? Because they say you can work at home, So is it possible? She said, yes, she too, she's doing it. If you really want, I just start from there. I sign up. I don't even go back, because I know her already, and I know, okay, even though if something gonna happen, it's from her. You understand? So I take that fear. Even my husband, he just said, I don't even look at that side anymore, because that time, me too, I was hungry to do something. You know, as in woman, it's very good to be proud of yourself, at least to contribute in your family table. You know, thank you so much for that.
That was a lot to unpack, and it was amazing. And there were two things that you said that really, really stood out for me. Is you've highlighted the flexibility of this business, because you mentioned that you're studying and it didn't prevent you from studying, and the fact that also you've got a big family to cater to. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you have
right.
5. Is it 5 or 4? Children? Five. So 5 children studying. You know, as women, also we are the center of everything. So doing this business, it didn't impact negatively on family life or bring anything to a stop, and it just highlights the flexibility that you're still able to do all those things. So I really, really love that. I am going to move to you, Sis Marcel, and you know, I know that you, part of your career, you are a caregiver, and I just think that's just such an amazing, amazing, amazing job. It touches my heart because of my son. But I also know that there's a lot of challenges in that field, and it can also be very tiring. So when you decided to make the digital move, what was the biggest results or changes that happened since you started?
Thank you so much, Isama. The change I made, you know, yes, the job is not easy. It's not. So for like quality of time, I'll be having like challenge of health issue, which is, you know, when you go to the doctor, they'll say, oh, you need to have a break. I say, have a break after all this? How am I going to survive? He say, yes, Marcel, if you don't have a break for your feet is going to leave you. I say, oh my God. I didn't listen. And I was, then when he said that, I was kind of like looking, okay, if you have a break, true, I'm going to have an assistant, but how long is going to be? Like, how far that's going to go? And I was like, I didn't listen. I was like going back to work. Is that, when you're working and your mind is not there and you're in pain, but you have no choice to go to work. That's how I was doing it for 2 years. And even meanwhile, I was like trying to do online business because, after all this global thing, everything, I was trying to figure out what to do online. I did many, like I did a lot, they kind of scam me, I said, okay, just have to keep on looking. That don't work, something else will work. So, and I was like going to work, and then there was a time I come from work, I was really tired. And I was sitting down on my Instagram and I saw an ad, and the lady, she's my mentor now, she was like talking, and I don't know, somehow my mind just went to it and I focused. It was late at night and I watched the ad. After I watched it, I said, oh, if you want to know more, click learn more button. And then from there, and since I was looking for something to do just to get off of my feet, be able to heal. So, and I clicked the learn more button, and then here I am. Since I started, believe me, it's like I get more knowledge and I'm confident. And even in me, I know I like, you know what I mean? I feel good. So how you feel that, oh my God, I know I noticed a big change on me. Physical, mentally, I'm good. And more, even though I'm at home now, believe me, I don't think I'm going back to work. you know. True, where I am, it's not get rich quickly, but there's a guarantee. Like, when you have hope that, oh, it's gonna be okay. What life is really short. Why are we stressing ourselves? I know it's not easy. Like, you have to go to 9 to 5, and your body is not up to it. You do it because you have no choice to do it. And there's a lot of things out there. Sometimes we just have an open mind. We don't try new things, we can never know. But guess what? I'm really, really glad I joined this online digital business. I never have a regret. And thank you so much, Sister Ama. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. I mean, you've raised something that is so significant that a lot of people deal with. I actually dealt with that. And this is what I say, that when you're working for somebody else, an employer, you live your life according to their agenda. And it's not even just a case of when you're doing your hours of work, you fit your life around work, which is very, very wrong. It should be the other way around. And you've highlighted that when you went to see your doctor, you wasn't well, the worry of having to not work was stronger, and you were still pushing yourself whilst you was unwell. And I had to have major surgery, and I remember that before I had the surgery, before I went into hospital, not only was I worrying about my son, but I was also worrying about my job, my employer. And they have no regard for me or my son. Employers do not have any regard. I mean, there might be some people who are fortunate. I like to say they're in the minority, where they work in an environment where the employees have regard. But, a lot of the time, the employers, it's just about them. They're interested in what you can do for them, and it's not the other way around. And it's just so sad that people are in that sort of situation. And I mean, I was going for major surgery and I was worrying about my employer. It's just madness. But this is the kind of hold that they can, have over us. So when you have your own business, and it's something, I mean, what I love about this is the fact that there's others that have come before us, because it's a massive community out there of entrepreneurs. I know that it's over 138,000, but when you have your own business that's successful, that takes away some of that burden of worrying about things and people that just don't give a damn about us. It gives you that liberation. It gives you that freedom, and it also allows you to create life according to your family. And actually what I say is to live life. I just want to give a shout out to Deborah. Thank you for joining us, who's watching from Jamaica as well. Thank you. We really, really appreciate that. Heather has made a very good point, and she says that this business actually, it does allow everyone flexibility and freedom, and I believe that is what people are looking for. There may be people who are watching and they're not necessarily parents, or they may not be carers, but we all have a reason for living. We all have a reason for living, and I believe that our life should be catered for in a healthy way. Now, anyone out there who's watching and they would like to know more, there is we hold a complimentary webinar, so it means that it's free and it's no cost. And there's a live one happening today, because it's every Tuesday and Thursday. It's 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you need to check your time zones if you're not in the States, i.e., for example, for me in the UK, it would actually be classed as Friday morning, because it's 1 a.m. in the morning. And if the times don't suit, you can always watch the replay. To get access to the webinar, you can just go to our websites, register with your name and your email address, and you will be sent over a link. If you decide that this is something for you, the business model suits you, and you want to go further, there is a cost, and it's $149. But the beauty about that is that you have a 30-day period where if you decide it's not for you and you haven't had a coaching call, you can ask for a refund, no questions asked. And with the coaching call, you also decide when to have that coaching call. So it's not a case that you're going to register and someone's going to call you to have a coaching call. I hope that everyone who's watched has enjoyed. We are going to love you and leave you. But what I like to do on all the shows is I just always like to ask my guests to say something inspirational or leave something motivational. But today I thought that I would just do that. So I am going to end with a quote from one of my favorite motivational speakers, which is Tony Robbins. Some viewers may know him. And what he says is the only impossible journey is the one that we never begin. So action always speaks louder. Take action. Look for the thing that you want to enjoy life and stay blessed. I hope you've enjoyed the show, and we will speak to you soon. Take care. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.